All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and a few other alts. I'll just jump into those, but first, let's start with Bitcoin here. So, yesterday, Bitcoin, when I was making my video, we were coming down to this 105 area where we had our anchored VWAP from the all time highs. We had our point of control of the range, this sideways range we've been playing since we hit into that pitchfork midline. Since then, we've kind of been forming some sort of consolidation pattern, almost like a triangle pattern. Not quite a triangle pattern, but it is one of like an ascending triangle that we could look at. You can see here semi-equal highs, higher lows, or higher lows, yes, on the price action here in this trend line here. And so we can look at this as an ascending triangle, or we can just really pay attention to this bottom trend line. And we want to be paying attention to our highs as far as swing failure patterns. So we came to our 105 area where I was looking for us to see a bounce to continue higher because of the bullish absorption we were seeing on the Bybit chart. Now, we did not get the bounce quite from there, and we continued a little bit lower. If we look at where we continue down to, if we do a Fibonacci pull from these lows here to the highs that we made yesterday, and we go to our golden pocket, you can see we hit into our golden pocket here, and now we are seeing a small move up. We are trying right now to reclaim this point of control, and this point of control is going to be really important to reclaim. If we do reclaim this point of control, we have some levels above us that I'll go into in a second. But I want to zoom in onto the 15-minute chart and explain what we got down here yesterday into our golden pocket. So we were trying to hold the 105 and the anchored VWAP here, the point of control. We just got to bounce up to the VWAP. We rejected the VWAP, and then we lost that. And you can see we kind of flipped it to resistance. The point of control, we flipped to resistance. And when we did flip it to resistance, we continued down here. So you can see this first low that was made here, we front ran the golden pocket just barely and created some liquidity down there. So what we did is a local 3 drives pattern, and I'm going to explain this. So a 3 drives pattern is when you have 2 SFPs of local lows, and then you make the move up. So this was our first low, but it front ran the 618 just barely. So we came back down. We had an SFP of that low into the actual golden pocket, the 618 of the golden pocket. We made a small move up, and then we had another SFP of that low, and that was our 3 drives pattern there. So 1, 2, 3 drives pattern, and then we got the push up. So the local 3 drives pattern into the golden pocket played out. We got the push up, pushed up very close to our point of control and our anchored VWAP. You can see we were rejecting the point of control and the anchored VWAP overnight for me, but we did come down and we held the VWAP now as a support. Once we held the VWAP as a support, we pushed up, and we're pushing up past this point of control, and we're right now in the process of trying to flip this point of control to support to continue higher. So it's going to be really key right now to flip this point of control and this anchored VWAP to support. If we can flip this to support, we have a couple things we can look at here. First off, locally, we can be looking at a very small weakened range. So we could take this price action here, and we can just look at this range here, continue to play this chop here. I don't think that's as important as our bigger range that we're in right now, and we can continue to trade within this bigger range through the weekend until maybe Sunday afternoon or Monday morning. If we look at our local resistance above us, if we can flip this point of control right now to support and continue higher, we can do a Fibonacci. So let me get rid of this golden pocket now that I showed you guys that. We can do a Fibonacci pull from yesterday's highs here down to the lows that we made, and you can see our 786 is aligning perfectly with our value area high. So if this range is going to continue for the weekend, and we can actually flip this point of control to support, we may be able to continue up to this level here, hit into our 786 and our value area high, and then we could just continue down to maybe our value area low, which would be in confluence with the trend line of support that we're seeing of higher lows. And this is our range that we could play for the weekend. So our 2 trades primarily that I'm interested in over the weekend are a short from the 786 value area high and a long from the value area low and the trend line of Bitcoin's kind of ascending lows that we're making. Other than that, there's not too much I'm interested in. You could look very locally at this SFP here. If we do reject from here, that could be a fake breakout, and then we could continue down. Right now, what's the important thing to see for this today is flipping this point of control to support to continue higher. If we can flip this point of control, really flip it to support, I'd want to see a 1 hour close above it, because if we zoom out onto the hourly chart, you can see so far on the hourly chart, let me re-pull this here. All right, so we're starting to finally see some hourly candles close above this, but before we were not having much hourly candles close above this. So we're actually starting to get some hourly closes above this. Let's zoom out to the 4-hour chart. And okay, 4-hour opened and closed above it. So this is a little bit of a bullish sign locally for us to continue higher here. If we do continue higher, this is the area I'm interested in looking for a short. If we come up here, now this is the thing, guys, if we slowly chop up here through all of Saturday and maybe Sunday morning, Saturday night, and we're coming up here, I'd want to be seeing local bearish divs. So like maybe this could do something like this, and then this here. We would want to see higher highs on the price action into the 786, and we want to be seeing lower highs on the momentum waves into this 786 value area high. If I see that bearish divs on like the 15-minute and under up here, I will be looking for a short here. Obviously, if you take the short there, your stop is going to go above the high here. Or you could wait for the rejection. We could come up into here. We could hit into it, start to reject. You could wait for a 1-minute change of structure, and then you could short here with your stop above the wick that was created. And that would be a much better risk-reward management trade. First TP would be this point of control area here. And then, of course, the value area low and the trend line would be your next level of support, take profit support looking. So that's pretty much it on Bitcoin. Let's go into our periodic volume profile and see if we have any new daily points of control. So just today's new one is down here near the VWAP, but that has not closed yet, so we are not going to pay attention to that. Also, you guys, I think I'm going to start using ATAS for some of these points of control here, because it does seem to be a better indicator, give us better levels here. So it looks like we have a volume point of control up here at 105.5. That is from yesterday's. Let's see here. 5-minute chart. Let's zoom out onto the hourly. Okay, yes. So it looks like we have one at 105.5, a new daily naked daily point of control here. And then it looks like we have one up here at 109. All right. That's what, so we can look now, go back to here. And let's look at 105.5. All right, you guys, so that 105.5 is around this local SFP. If we're looking at this area as a little range that we're playing, 105.5 is right about the SFP of these highs here. So be aware of that. Just if we're just going to play kind of this sideways range here, we could come to the top of that range, hit it into SFP into that volume point of control there, and then continue down as well. So look very, very locally. That's something you need to watch for over the weekend. If we're just going to really low volume chop right around the POC, maybe till Sunday, we can watch for that. But this is encouraging to see us flipping this point of control to support to continue higher. Okay, that's it for Bitcoin. Let's go. Actually, no, it's not. I want to go to the liquidity real quick. So liquidity above us is, we have the 105.6 area, which is right where that naked daily point of control is. It's a little bit above that naked daily point of control. But we do have at the 106 area where that 786 was, this 106.5 area, you can see that our liquidity locally at the end of the liquidity is right around 106.5 up here. So if we stop out both of these liquidities, hunt this liquidity into our 786, then we can see it move down. And then to the bottom below us is right around 103 here, 103.4, 103, 103.2. And sure enough, if we zoom out here, you can see our value area low is around 103. So if we wick out all the liquidity below us into our value area low in our trend line. So what I'm watching for over the weekend is maybe a liquidity grab of both the high and the low, and then we see our move to the upside, our real move to the upside that we're looking for. Now, be aware of those triple drives of bearish div on the daily. I am really watching for the SFP of the all-time high into that pitchfork midline, and I will be looking for shorts there if there's proper confirmation, if we get the confirmation, because of the triple drives of bearish div on the daily. I want to see this happen. Now, I want this to happen on Monday or later, so I do want to chop for a bit so that the regular markets are open before we get the SFP of the all-time high. And even if we do get the SFP, we could continue higher. We need to watch for that. Obviously, I'm not going to take this trade unless it's a valid SFP. We'd want to hit into the midline and then reject and close like an hourly or above at or below this all-time high level. Then we could see the push down. Okay, so that is it for Bitcoin. Now let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum here is pretty much the same thing as Bitcoin is seeing. We are in this kind of consolidation, same type of consolidation. We can play our bigger range here on Ethereum. So let's go to the hourly chart. You can see I have this is our big daily range. Okay, so let me get rid of the big daily range. You can see we're at the point of control of our big daily range. But if we look at just this price action here, or really I like the range from the last time we touched the midline of the channel all the way to the present day here. You can see this range here. We are just kind of chopping, same thing within this range as well. Let's do two ranges and let's compare them. So let's do the range of just this price action here. Okay, point of control. We're flipping that point of control there. So let me look at this smaller range first, and then we will look at the bigger one. All right, so on this one here, we did reject from that band, but we did front run it just a bit. So I would like to still come up. I still think this is a valid resistance up here because we have our swing failure pattern of these highs up here, our daily up here, and then our pitchfork band, and then our channel. Now, oftentimes on higher time frame channels like this, we can see the wick out of the channel, almost like a fake out into our resistance, and then come down and close like a 4 hourly or below at the back within the channel, and then we could see the dump. So be aware of a fake out of this pink descending channel here into this box of resistance, and then a dump as well. All right, locally, we have, if we do a golden pocket pull from yesterday's highs to the lows, we can look at our golden pocket, and then we can also look at our 786. So value area high is in that 786 golden pocket area. I do think the 786 looks a little bit better. We could wick past the value area high into the 786, close the hourly at or below the value area high, and then make a move to the downside. But right now, it does look like we are flipping, just like with Bitcoin, we are flipping our point of control into support to try to continue higher. Other than that, Ethereum's kind of doing the same thing as well. We're just going to trade the range until it breaks. If we do zoom out and check this other range here, let's look at this range. Actually, let's do it from here. Okay, so if we check the bigger range here, and let's look. So we did flip the point of control is where we held yesterday. And actually, remember, I was looking yesterday in the video. I was showing you guys this golden pocket here from high to low, and I was showing you that our point of control was in that golden pocket, and that's where I'd be looking for the local bounce, and that's exactly what happened. We got the drop into our golden pocket and our point of control. We saw the bounce. We came back for another test. It was a higher low. We made a higher low here, into our local 786, and then we're continuing higher. So this support level that I was looking for in yesterday's video, if you go watch the video, it did hold, and we are making a move up from there. So I do like this range as well, because this point of control is a little bit more respected overall than the other smaller range I was just showing you. And if we look at the value area high on this range, if we do that same Fibonacci pull from high to low, you can see our golden pocket here is right at the value area high. So this golden pocket here, just like on Bitcoin, we have a 786 value area high. On Ethereum, we have a value area high golden pocket. So that's our local resistance we want to be watching here. But with the other range, value area high just above that into the 786, we could see just that general area. So I'd say our general area of resistance on Ethereum, if we're going to do low volume chop for the weekend. Now, if we break out, this is only a low time frame micro resistance level. So don't put too much into this, but this area here is the area I'd be watching for a rejection if we are going to continue to just low volume chop over the weekend. You know, continue this kind of crap. We should just watch for this area here. All right, so that's that. Now, if we do reject from that, we do have the value area low down here. We would be breaking our trend line of support pretty strongly, though, from this kind of higher low trend that Ethereum is experiencing, the same as Bitcoin. If we break this, we could sweep the liquidity real quick, especially these three lows here that are in real close confluence. I think if we break it, we're going to sweep all three of these together. So we could look for a sweep of all three of those, a liquidity grab here at 31.81, and then maybe close the hourly at or above this value area low, and then make the move back up and just continue to range. Of course, our bigger support still below us here. It's the 786. It's the anchored VWAP here from the 2,500 or 2,000 lows, $2,000 lows. And then it's our channel midline here as well. So that is definitely an area to be watching for a bigger support level. And then also to the upside. Now, you guys, I just rechecked this box here, and I had a naked daily point of control up there. Like if you look at yesterday's video, in that box, I had a naked daily point of control, but I was just checking it this morning, and I am not seeing that naked daily point of control up there. So I do not know if this is bugging out on me, or I do not know if I made a mistake, because I did make a mistake in yesterday's. I wrote down a daily when it wasn't a daily. I was, I don't know what's going on here. Too much time staring at the charts or something like that. So anyways, this area here, though, is still our bigger 786. It's our 786 pull from the last rejection of the big weekly. See this dotted midline here is our huge weekly, multi-year weekly ascending channel that Ethereum's been trading in. So we hit to the dollar rejected. This is where I made the second pivot of the descending channel that we're in, the lower time frame, like 4-hour descending channel that we're in. And so if we do a Fibonacci pull from the highs to the lows, our 786 is right up in here. It's also our value area high of our big range since November 11th. So if we zoom out here onto the 4-hour chart and we look at this giant range here from these highs November 11th to present day, you can see our value area high is right up there. And it's also our pitchfork, the top of our pitchfork band, which has been really, really well respected. So this box of resistance is still a key box of resistance to be watching. All right, so that is pretty much it for Ethereum. Let's zoom back into the 24-minute. I would just continue to watch this smaller range, especially with it being weak in price action. So that local golden pocket pull that I just showed you guys is going to be an area to be watching here from this high to this low here. And this golden pocket is going to be our value area high of that range. If we go from the last lows here over, value area high, golden pocket there, local resistance, and then our value area low I'd be looking for. Now, I do think that our 786, if we go do a Fibonacci pull from the last lows here to the highs that we made yesterday, our 786, we did bounce from the golden pocket, so it's no longer as important. It was also our point of control. But you can see if we do come up, so let me just change this only to 786. You can see if we do something like continue the low volume chop for the weekend, come up here, reject from here, maybe come down, do something like this, chop around, and then come here, that could be a local support level as well. That's 786 at 32.35. But it's not, I mean, other than really the trend line and the 786, there's not too much there. We can actually zoom out and look at new daily levels. I looked on Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't have any new daily levels, but let's zoom out on Ethereum. I haven't checked Ethereum for new daily levels yet. So, okay, so we do have this daily here. If we mark that out, that has not been touched yet. That's a daily level. And then if we close our candle green today, we'll have a new daily here around the point of control. But we're not going to mark that out yet because the day still has 3 hours and 31 minutes left. So now let's zoom back in onto the 15-minute chart and let's look at that. So yeah, okay. Locally, we have some confluence here, you guys. Actually, let me zoom out to the hourly. Locally, our confluence, our local resistance above us, value area high golden pocket, our local support is now daily 786 and this trend here. So that is what I'd be looking at locally. If we continue this low volume chop through the weekend, that's what we're going to want to, the two primary levels we're going to be looking, at least I'm going to be looking at for trades is this area and this area. And of course, we want to see local bearish divs coming into these areas on like 15-minute, 6-minute, 3-minute, 1-minute. And then, of course, with Bitcoin, you guys, the two areas that I'm interested in only are the value area high 786 and then value area low and the trend line here. Let's just zoom out onto the daily and double check this real quick. Do we have any new daily levels here? That daily's been wicked. Nope, nope. Okay, nope. All right, yeah, so no local new dailies on Bitcoin. Okay, that is it for Ethereum. Now let's go into Solana. Solana. All right. So same kind of thing with Solana right now. We're in this range that we're trading. Now, Solana does look a little bit more bullish than some of these other coins here as far as, I mean, we are making those higher lows through here, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but we haven't dropped as much. We're in this descending channel here on Solana. So let me zoom out to the hourly chart. You can see this descending channel that we're in, this pink descending channel, and we're just respecting this descending channel. Now, very locally, we have a couple things above us. So we have the 786 of just this, from this high to the low that we created yesterday. Our 786 is at the top of the channel. That is a rejection area to be watching. And then we do have our 786 from this low. Let's see here. Yeah, from this low here to this high here. Oh, I gotta fix that. Let's see, from here to here. Actually, what we should be doing is from this low here to that high. Let's see if we hit into the 786 already. We have not hit into the 786 on that. So this 786 is around the channel midline. It's actually getting quite a bit lower now, this midline is, because it's such an aggressive steep drop. But we do have the SFP of these lows into that 786. Let's do the range pull. So there's a couple range pulls I've been following here on Solana. I've been doing it from after the inauguration crash lows, this area here. And you can see that's where our point of control held us yesterday. We bounced from the point of control, continued higher, just like Ethereum did. And then I'm looking at the range of the entire price action within the channel, the descending channel. And so you can see this range here, our value area high is around the top of the channel, and it's also around our 786. So we can look at this here, 786 value area high, top of channel. And then, of course, we have to the downside, our value area low in 786 is here, 238.55, and then our resistance above us is 265. Now, if we go back to this channel here, or this range here, Our value area high is in between that 786 golden pocket area, which is a valid area to be looking for shorts, and it's also closer aligned to the top of the channel as far as if we pump up to it in the next few hours. So that is an area I would be watching here for that this local rejection area coming up, and that is if we're just going to continue to kind of chop in the range throughout the weekend, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right, so let's go to the daily chart. Let's look at new levels here. Do we have any new levels? This one was touched. Okay, no new daily levels here. And our momentum wave here on the daily, it is topped out, but it does look like it's trying to flatten out and create another little higher high hump. I still like, I talked about this in yesterday's video, so let me zoom out to the 4-hour chart. And let me clean this chart up just a little bit. All right. I still do like the SFPs of these lows, the lows of the channel, into our pitchfork midline, and it's also our descending channel midline here. Because we came so close to it here that it's we have double the liquidity down there. We hit the 886 from this high to this low. So I do still think we might be able to come down here. And then also we have our dual highs up here as well, where we just barely ran. So on Solana, we have double semi-equal double highs up here at 273, and then semi-equal double lows here at 229. And I do think it is highly possible for the market makers to come stop out both sides, grab the liquidity on both sides before making the real move. So maybe we are going to reject from the top of the channel here, come down into this midline, take that liquidity, come up here, take this liquidity, bounce, and then continue higher. That is what I would really like to see. Now, that'll take about a week to play out, but it would be nice to see. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. The market doesn't care what you want, but I'm just watching for oftentimes in these kind of ranges where we have semi-equal highs on the lows and the highs, on the highs and the lows, excuse me. We want to watch for a hunt of the liquidity on both sides before the real move is made. So that's what I'm kind of watching for here. Other than that, nothing much new on Solana. It's just kind of continuing its range. XRP here. All right, XRP is just continuing to chop in this low volume. I made this descending channel yesterday based off the two lower highs and then our low here, and you can see the midline is being highly respected. And then I'll also made a little triangle thing that we're seeing here, like in this symmetrical triangle that's kind of happening here. Let me fix that there. And here. So yeah, this is kind of the triangle we're chopping in right now. I still do think we're in that fourth wave correction of the bigger Elliott waves, and I do think it would be nice. I mean, let's pull the volume here of this. So first of all, we have the more sideways volume after the Trump inauguration dump here that we could be watching this volume range, and you can see value area low is bouncing us here, and then the value area high has kind of been a rejection level, but the nicer and bigger range is going to be from the highs that pretty much the entire correction. We can take the volume of the entire correction, sideways correction that we're seeing, and this one is a bit nicer and a bit more high time frame valid levels. So look at here. We've got our value area low that we bounced from the last couple times we've touched it. Our point of control is what we're trying to flip to support right now. We bounce to the value area low, bounce value area low, but overall our point of control is trying to hold. And then, of course, to the upside, we have our value area high in confluence with our naked daily point of control. Let's actually double check this now that this indicator is being fussy. Let's make sure. Yeah, okay, so there's a naked daily point of control up there. We do have a new naked daily point of control as well right here. Okay, so we'll mark that out at 315.6. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll check our new weekly points of control. So I do believe if we pull that smaller range, let's go back here and let's pull that smaller range just after the Trump inauguration dump here. And okay, so our value area high is not at that naked daily point of control. All right. Then we will just watch this. But our naked daily point of control is around this descending channel trend line here. And this trend line isn't the cleanest trend line. I mean, like with this one, honestly, you could pull it from this high up here, like from this high here to there. And then it would be in nicer alignment with that. But the bottom is pretty clear. The top, just like all the other coins, is not as clear. I don't like the fact I don't trade too much only solely based off these triangles as well. So we just gotta play the range, really play the value area highs, the value area lows of the range, any liquidity grabs that we're seeing. If we look at what happened with this one, we did bounce from that. I did long 108, 308 yesterday because it was our big range value area low. And I believe I did a TP1 and then I moved my stop to break even and I got stopped out overnight, I think it was. Yeah, I longed this area here. I TP'd at the VWAP and then I got stopped out overnight. It was just a very small win, nothing much there. But now I am waiting. I do like these midlines of this descending channel. The midlines down here because we have local SFP areas down here into the midline. And if we do a Fibonacci pull of the last highs on the hourly down to the lows on the hourly, our golden pocket is, yes, okay, so golden pocket, naked daily point of control at 315.6. That is our local resistance to be watching here. 315.6 is where I will be looking for a short if we have local bear dibs playing into that. Actually, let's go ahead and add an alert. Let's do here. Okay, we got that. And then as far as our longs here, really, I don't like. I mean, we had the SFP of this low yesterday, so we could do another, like Bitcoin had a 3 drives pattern. We could do an SFP of this low into the trend line here. That's not super good though. I would really more like to, let's actually check out from this last low to this high. All right, so we've even come down to the 786. Okay, so that's not valid there. Really, I mean the SFPs of this lows. This was a big volume candle here, and we left a lot of imbalances in this candle. So to come down to and look at these poor lows here, even on the hourly, no wick at all. So I do like these as these are kind of poor lows here with a volume imbalance in the market, big fair value gap here. Now we did fill half of that fair value gap with yesterday's lows here, but I bet you the fair value gap is not completely closed. Let's check this out. So actually, okay, no. But let's go on to the 15-minute chart. Wow. Oh, never mind, because this wick here. That's right. So that wick invalidated the fair value gap. All right, so no fair value gap there, but I still do think those are poor lows here. Look at even on the 15-minute chart, no wick at all. So we have these poor lows here that we could be looking, poor lows, and we could be looking for our SFP of those poor lows into our midline, our channel midline. So that is really the only area of support that I'd be interested in longing. And I would want to see the SFP of those lows into the midline and then an hourly candle close at or above those poor lows level and then make the move up. Other than that, I'm not interested in anything else here. I'll just be patient and wait for my bigger levels. We do have the daily here with our anchored VWAP that could be pushing up close to it by the time we get down there. And then our bigger box here, the swing failure pattern into the band of support, and it's also the bottom of the channel. But the bottom of the channel is getting lower pretty aggressively, so we'd have to do that kind of soon here. And then as far as the top of the channel, it depending on how long we chop, if we chop all the way till Monday or so, it's kind of close to that area. But we have our value area high, naked daily point of control up here. That's at 328. So this is an area I'm definitely interested in because it is our value area high and our naked daily point of control. So let's do value area high, naked daily POC. And then I bet you there's a couple other things up there. Let me change this to purple. Let's do a Fibonacci pull from the last big highs here to, well, let's see if we do it to these lows. Did we hit our 786 already? We have not. Okay, so here's something else, you guys. We front ran that 786 here. You can see the 786 was not hit. It was front ran here. Now, oftentimes, if you front run it that close, it will bust through it the next time you come up there. But it is still naked and still valid. So we do have this box here, our 786 into our naked daily point of control and value area high. And then also here, we do have the swing failure pattern of these highs here. So there is a lot here up in this box at 328. Let's see, what is that? 328 to 329. There's a lot up there to look at. I definitely think this is a resistance I'd be interested in looking for a short here on XRP. A bigger time frame. Now, lower time frame, that 316 area here at the naked 315.6, naked daily point of control and our local golden pocket. All right, so that is it for XRP. Actually, no, it's not. Let's check our new levels on the daily. Let's see if we have any new dailies here. I know these charts look messy, guys, so bear with me. Okay, no daily there. No daily there. And just that daily we have down there. Okay, that's it. Trumpcoin. All right, guys. So Trumpcoin's been a bit exciting. I did actually long this earlier today when we broke out of the channel here. We back tested it and I longed it. I think I'm up. Let me check my phone real quick here. And let's see here. All right. Yeah, I'm up quite a bit on it, actually. This is good. Okay, so we have had this descending channel on the hourly. Now, I made this descending channel off of these three pivots way here. So before any of this was formed, I had this descending channel on the chart. And yesterday I was talking about the swing failure pattern of this low here, and we didn't get it. We busted straight through it. Now, I did have a take profit on my short there, and I took profit on 75% of my short. I also still have that short running still. Now I'll just let it either get stopped out or I'll continue to take profit here at 21. But we did have a order block down here at 26 cents, and that's exactly where we bounced from, is that 26-cent order block here. And that's why we're seeing a little bit of a move. But what I wanted to see here on Trumpcoin is I wanted to see us break this channel and backtest it. So I was actually posting about this real time in the Discord earlier today. We were chopping around. We had come up and rejected from the channel, but we held the VWAP, and then we saw an explosion through it. I know this is only a 5-minute time frame, but that was a pretty big explosion through it. So when I saw that increasing price action, when we came back down and back tested it, took the long on the back test, and now it's just chopping very slowly here, but we are finally starting to see our first signs of the breakout of this channel. And even we could even come back and back test it again for like a higher time frame back test, because you can see this was an immediate back test. So we could do something like this and then come down to our VWAP and back test it again to continue higher. But we are starting to break out of this channel here, and that is a little bit bullish for me to see. I like this. So if we zoom back onto the 15-minute chart, we can also see that we are starting to form more of a bottom consolidation range. If we just do this price action here, it's kind of our sideways range. So we're breaking the value area high of that range. We could also back test the value area high and continue higher. But yeah, I do like this. You can see that we're starting to pump a bit, and I have a long on this. I'm happy about that. I played the breakout. I don't often play breakouts, but if I see a crazy downtrend like this on a coin and it's just looking like it's getting exhausted, I like that. So now locally, you guys, let's look at our resistances. So if we do a golden pocket pull from the last big high on this move up here to the lows that we made. Our golden pocket is right at the swing failure pattern of this last time we hit into the descending channel before dropping more. So we have a key swing failure pattern into a golden pocket, and then also our anchored VWAP from the all-time high at 72 or whatever that is, 78 cents up here. So that is at 39.62 to like $40, 40.2 is a resistance. I already have a limit TP set here for like 75% of the long position. And if we continue higher, great, I'll ride the long. But I do think this is a resistance area where we need to be looking for a short, a possible short here. We could go here. We could do this. So it's the AVWAP, SFP, golden pocket. Okay. That's our area of resistance to be watching. I think we could pump up there, you guys. I mean, this thing has been beaten down pretty crazy over the last few days. So I do think we can get that pump up to there and just continue to start to form more of a sideways range here. So like if we do something like come up to this here, reject, come down here, and then start to kind of form more of a sideways range from like this price action here. And that would be really nice to see. But this trend was so aggressive to the downside that it couldn't have continued. The one thing I was looking for is the SFP of these lows into the channel midline here. But we had that order block in here that held us. So that was why we bounced where we did. And great, you know, it's great. I mean, I already took most of my short position out, and now I'm in a long. So good for that. Okay, that's it for Trumpcoin. And let's see, there was another coin. Let's do ETH BTC. Okay, Ethereum versus Bitcoin on, we'll do Coinbase here. All right, so this is ETH against Bitcoin. Let's zoom out onto the weekly chart. Wow, ETH is just dumping against Bitcoin, man. That's crazy. All right, let me get rid of this. Ooh, ooh. Okay, I do see this descending channel that we're in here. Weekly descending channel. And really, we could look at a pitchfork here. Yeah, that pitchfork's pretty nicely respected, but let's actually check out. Is that skiff? That is the skiff. Okay. Yeah, that's what we want. All right. So we broke the pitchfork to the downside, though, so that doesn't even matter, really. We could watch that for the bearish retest, though, if we break to the upside. All right, so this is what we got here as far as ETH BTC. I do see a key weekly level down here. So let's mark that out. That was our last weekly pivot before this giant pump here. And we even have this one down here. Let's mark this out. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so we're hitting into the weekly right now. The other one, so the first one. So we could see a little bit of a pump from here on Bitcoin, ETH against Bitcoin. Now we do have this weekly here as our local weekly resistance above us. All right, let's actually go to the monthly. Let's look at the monthly levels. That monthly there. This monthly here. All right. Yeah, I'm going to leave them on the weeklies. Okay, go to the dailies. Here. So we have that weekly up here, but we have this daily close by as well. I'm going to leave it on the weekly because it's a higher time frame. We do have this daily that's just very locally right up here. So I will mark that out because it looks like we're starting to form a range down here. And other than that, I'm not going to look at too much more. I mean, we do have this one up here. If we do a Fibonacci pull from the last time we rejected from the midline, that high, that last daily high to the low, and we look at our golden pocket. Okay, so this is kind of nice here. We do have a daily here with our golden pocket close by. So that's at 0.034 to 0.0434 to 0.0477. We're bouncing from the weekly level right now, and I think we might start to do something like this, you guys. Form a range here for a bit, and then maybe, hopefully, see Ethereum breakout versus Bitcoin. But honestly, no one likes Ethereum right now. Ethereum is just boring and slow, and I also do see another descending channel on this here. If we go from the last daily high here to the lower high and then bring it down to here, we do have this smaller daily channel. So let's put that on the chart. So we have a smaller daily channel and a bigger weekly channel. Not pink channel. Here we go. All right. And that midline's being pretty well respected here. The top of the channel is also our daily and our golden pocket. So this is our definite resistance area here on ETH BTC. And then let's see, this daily hasn't been hit yet. So let's mark this daily out just because I bet you it's going to be a local golden pocket or around there. Okay, now that we have that, let's zoom in onto the 2-hour chart. And we can start looking at this range that is forming here on the downside. We can do a Fibonacci pull from the highs to the lows. Yeah, see, that's our golden pocket. I just had a feeling there was a golden pocket there. So our golden pocket at the daily here, that is our first level support. And we also have the local SFP. So this would be nice to SFP these lows here into our golden pocket and our daily, and then see a pump to the upside to our daily here. This daily has the small pitchfork or channel midline at 0.3217, but our big resistance is up here at that 0.3434 to 0.3477 up here. And then we can just look at this small range. So we could do a range here. And okay, so our value area high is close to that daily and to that midline here. That's from, what is that, 0.3208 to that 0.3217. I bet you our golden pocket is up there as well. So let's do a Fibonacci pull from the last highs on the 2-hour to the lows. And yes, our golden pocket is right at this value area high. And our 786 is going to be there is at the daily. And so this is our local resistance area here, you guys. Now this is very local, if in a sideways small range chop. And then our local support is down here. Obviously the SFP into the daily and then the value area lows down there as well. So that area there. All right, that is what we need to be watching for here locally. And other than that, I would just watch the bigger trends. Anyways, I got to get going, you guys. Everyone have a good day. I hope this video helps you. I'll see you tomorrow.